done my makeup. It looks like I have a huge forehead. I do not, I promise. So I wanted to just do like little mini stories. I have some other school ones. I have some other school ones to hand out. I have to rearrange the notes so they're in order. There. Now it's off. So it looks like an eye bugger. I don't. It's just a weird skin tag or something that's probably gonna drive everybody crazy who watches this. But sorry. So we're gonna do mini stories today. Mostly ER, 3 ER stories. There's a couple of these on my list I feel like I've already told, but I'm not sure. So you might get doubles of stories. Start with the first one. Early on, after getting the SB tube, I kept having this issue where it would get clogged, and I couldn't wait for my appointment to get it changed, so I'd have to go to the ER. I hated having to go all the way downtown to the hospital where I got it from, because that's what they recommend. Yeah, just come all the way, take an hour drive, and then sit for several hours in the waiting area, and then in the room for another couple of hours before you're actually treated. So I went to one of the other ones. So it was the half an hour drive one. I'm not crying because my eyes are watering so badly. I even started a new allergy medicine. I started taking Allegra. It was working for a couple of days, and then over the weekend while we were camping, it was like, oh, nope, not gonna work now. Your eyes are gonna water profusely again. Okay, so yeah, it stopped working. So I went to the half an hour away ER, and it was a slow night. It always seems like a slow night when we go there, but they don't act like it. They act like they're super busy, but it's clearly not. I get in there, it was a really large room that they brought me to. I don't remember waiting for. I think I was in the waiting area for a little bit. This hospital, you don't usually wait in the waiting room very long at the ER. So my mom had taken me, and like I said, she usually is the one who takes me, but she doesn't go back to the room unless I ask her to. So I go back, and it seems like when I have an issue with my bladder's full and my catheter's not working, they make me walk the furthest. Because it took me down the hall and around the corner to my room, and I know there was a shorter route. It's just past all the other side of the desks, the registration desks. So maybe they're not allowed to. I don't know. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then they come in and they ask me all the questions. They sent in. She was new. The doctor was very new. She was very young. And I told her, of course, I had to tell them I needed latex free, which of course took more time because they always have to find that. And she must not have ever had to do. I don't understand this. Putting in a Foley should be something that is remedial in the medical field. I would think, like putting in an IV, it makes this story much weirder. I'm sitting on the table, laying on the table, waiting. Like I said, the room was rectangular and like long ways, and I'm like way over here, and she's like way over here on the counter, getting everything together, which is not how you want to. You really should have everything within reach. She preps me and cleans the area and everything like that. I think they had taken out the other catheter. I can't remember if she had yet or not. I don't even remember if she ended up doing it or if I had to go somewhere else or something. I don't even remember that much. But I do remember she's taking forever to get everything situated. I saw the catheter. I saw she had it. I saw that it was clear, which meant it was silicone. Either the light blue or clear. Those are the silicone ones. Red is latex. I don't know yellow. I've never had a yellow one, but I'm pretty sure this would be latex too. Um, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up later. I saw that she had the catheter, and that's what she needed. That's all she needed. And she looked so confused. She was looking around, looking around, looking around. Finally, I asked her what she was looking for. She was looking for the balloon for the catheter. She thought that the balloon is a part of the catheter, was a separate thing that you connect to the catheter. God bless her. I don't understand that. I feel like Foley insertion should be remedial and something that you know before you're treating actual patients. So I just don't understand. I don't get that. I don't get why she thought that the balloon was a separate thing from the actual catheter. I had been messaging people on Facebook. This might have been for the group that I'm in, because it was a really long wait to even get treated. I was in a lot of pain because my bladder was full. I could not empty it myself. I had bladder spasms, but it was only like emptying like teensy a bit at a time. Like my bladder can hold 2 cups. I know that. So they used to have me measure it. And on average, my bladder was full, it was 2 cups. And I'm measuring them, and she tells me, or I'm messaging them, and in this, I put the post up that I was going to the ER, and then in the comments I was updating everybody. They're like, just breathe, just calm down, just breathe, because I was having a very bad day. And she says this, she's like, I'm looking for the balloon. And I tell her, did I tell her, or did she have to find some? I think somebody else told her, like an older, the older nurse that's been there for a long time, who's seen everything. But she's like really sweet. She's like, oh honey, no, it's part of the balloon. And she demonstrated how to fill the balloon. And the girl was like, oh, okay. And I'm messaging, I'm like, please, dear God, pray for me. She thought the balloon was separate from the catheter. The doctor. I don't know, maybe it isn't a remedial thing. I just feel like it should be. Like, it should be up there with IV insertion. IV insertion and catheter insertion should be number 1 and number 2 things that you learn. I don't know if it is, and you would think it would be. I don't know. I was both shocked and just, it was hilarious, and I probably would have laughed harder had I not been in such pain. But I think maybe at that point she finally got it in. Of course, it took forever because I have scar tissue, and we go in a little bit in the stoma, and then meet resistance, and you have to like push it through. Which I understand why they don't, because I've read online you're not supposed to push too hard. But you literally have to with my bladder, because of course it can't act the way a normal bladder is supposed to, even with catheter insertions. Of course not. It's my body, it's not going to do that. Yeah, so that's how that went down. It was just one of the many times I had to go to the ER for that sort of thing. Thankfully, since I've had the size 20 catheter put in, which is the biggest size. He wanted, the last time he did the dilation, I've already said this, dilation of the stoma. He did it twice now. He put an 18 in during the procedure, and then he's at the follow-up, he wanted to put in a 22. He wasn't there. And the nurse practitioner was, and she's like, not gonna happen. They did try, and it hurt. Just on the outside, though, because they couldn't get it in. So I was sore after that appointment. So yeah, I have a 20 in, and ever since then, I think I may have had 1 ER visit since then. Yeah, maybe back in February. Yeah. So that's story number one. I'm gonna pause while I remind myself that's story number two. Okay, the last two are going to be about recent times, but this one is from when I was little. Hold on. May have been the dog. Pretty sure he's laying in front of the door. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I like putting on my makeup, and it's new makeup. I want to be able to put it on when I want to put it on. But every time I do, my eyes water and I sneeze. It's not fair. And I switched. I was taking Claritin, but it wasn't doing anything. My eyes water so bad, even when I wasn't putting on makeup. So I asked my doctor, and he said it was okay to switch from that to Allegra. So I've been taking that for not even a week, maybe 5 days. And it was working the first 3 days. And then day 4, we went camping. And that's when my eyes started watering bad again. And so I did suggest alternating between it and Zyrtec, which I might do. I haven't been able to buy the Zyrtec yet because they commented that after I bought the Allegra. So, but I can't be resistant to it already after a couple of days. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. I'm gonna have to talk to my doctor. Yeah, let's do the one from when I was little first. I was sick a lot growing up. In and out of the hospital many times. I had many shunt revisions and many shunt revisions and replacements. I have to enunciate more. Just many orthopedic surgeries to straighten my feet. So many things. My stomach looks like a roadmap from all the shunt revisions, the cicostomy, the Mitrofanov, all that fun stuff. And I was a hard stick. I still am. But at least nowadays I don't squirm and squeal and scream. I'm much more comical and collected. Although if I do cry, because it is painful, I really annoy when people tell me not to cry because it makes it worse. It's like, leave me alone. I'm going through a thing. And if I have to cry, I have to cry. So I'm little. And first of all, it was usually my mom, dad, and my grandma. At least one or both of my grandmas. Would be at the ER when I was little. And they would have to help pull me down for the IVs. I just have this one really sucky memory. I don't remember what I was there for, anything like that. But they were having trouble getting an IV. They needed one for whatever reason it was that I was there. And this is in my hometown. This is, I remember, yeah. Or no, it wasn't in my hometown, but it was in my county. I think. I don't remember. It was near me. It's not the 15-minute drive one. It's one that isn't there anymore. The ER. So at one point, the nurses are on either side of me having a race to see who could get the IV in first. Side note, I remember when I was a little older, I might have been in my 20s, getting an IV put in. Particularly, it wasn't. They were having trouble. But I had the TV on. It was in a big room. It must have been like one for more than one person, more than one patient. And they had on Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Which I don't know why it's called that, because it means Frankenstein and Dracula in the same movie. So why is it just called They Meet Frankenstein? They meet both Frankenstein and Dracula. I don't understand. But anyway, I remember not feeling the IV at all. Not feeling the needle. Because I was so engrossed in the movie, it was hilarious. So I was laughing so hard I didn't even notice the needle go in. So that's my funny little side note. Let me cross you out. Then there was another time recently, quite recently. Was it my last visit or the one before that? It was one of those two to the ER. I went to the half an hour away one. I don't know why, because I didn't want to go there anymore because I didn't like the service there. I say that like it's fresh but still. The doctor that I had for that visit, it was the catheter wasn't working. My bladder was full. I had to pee, and I needed a new catheter. I couldn't wait for my appointment. The doctor was nice, and my mom knew her. She had been there when my dad went for one of his kidney stone situations. And she was very dismissive of it. Like, she's one of those doctors just assumes everyone is there just to get pain medication. I don't even think we were asking for that. Different day, different outfit, different makeup, hastily put on, so it'll be kind. Going outside, swimming with my parents. So, let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I left off because I honestly don't remember. I did that one. I remember that. Okay. Alright, I crossed off the ones that I already did. So yeah, I'm just going to reiterate the last one. Yeah, they were... A nurse on each side was trying to see who could get an IV in my arm first. I don't remember much from that. It's just that particular detail. Yeah. Fun. Good times. Recently, these two stories are more recent. So I was having an issue with my catheter. Per usual. So we went down. Which one did we go to? We went to the ER that's a half an hour away. Oh yeah, I started telling this one. I had the doctor who didn't really believe anything I was saying that my dad had when he went in for a kidney stone situation. She treated him the same way, like he was there for drugs or something, just there for drugs. He has chronic kidney stones. He's had like several stents put in. Just an issue with him, like it was for me in my 20s. I had him a lot. Excuse me, I have makeup all over me. Of course, it's black eyeshadow, so it's not gonna come out easy. And I'm having a bladder pain, so pause. Okay, I think it's passed. So yeah, my mom recognized the doctor. She wasn't happy with her. I wasn't happy with her. Of course, I was in there forever waiting to be treated, and my bladder was full. Couldn't empty it except for a little bit at a time with each bladder spasm that I was having. So that was fun. And then he finally came in, and I knew the doctor that got the catheter in because, of course, the nurses couldn't get it in. They're always afraid they're gonna hurt me because of that little resistance that you come to. As you're taught, as I read this online, I said this before. I gotta like just cut this part out. You're not supposed to push too hard to push the catheter in, but you literally have to with me because of the resistance that you get from the scar tissue. So he was called in, the urologist that was on call. Turns out I don't know him. I know a relative of his. I can't remember how he was related. I know his last name. I keep doing this with my eyebrows because this. What in the world? It doesn't look. I don't have a gap of hair missing on my eyebrow. I swear I don't. But that's how it looks on camera. So weird. So yeah, finally he comes in. When he gets a catheter in, I don't for the life of me remember what size. He decides. Usually they fill it up 10 cc's, the balloon. He decides to fill it up to 20 cc's. I don't remember his reasoning. It can't be because it would stay in better, because that doesn't make sense, because that wasn't the issue. So I have no idea why he decided to do it, and I should have said no, because I know how much my bladder holds. It's a teeny bladder. I didn't say anything. I just wanted to go home at that point. There for hours and hours and hours. You just want to go home. So I said, whatever. He puts the catheter in. Somehow I managed to get into the car without anything happening. But then you're about 15 minutes away from home and close to the, so we were close to the 15-minute away ER, and I feel a burst sensation in my bladder. I'm like, Mom, I think the balloon burst. She's like, seriously? And I'm like, yeah, he filled it up too much. I should have said something, and I didn't. I hate myself for not doing it. So we stopped at the 15-minute away one, and went in, and I think I had my brother-in-law or somebody I had a catheter at the house. That way we didn't have to sit and wait for them to find a non-latex catheter. So he stopped and met us there and gave us the catheter. Met us somewhere. Her mom dropped me off, and then she met him somewhere. And got the catheter and came back with it. And we went back, and it was the shortest ER visit I've ever had. It was like 5 minutes in and out. And I think my cousin ended up being there, someone I hadn't seen in a while. Her and her son. He had hurt his arm in basketball. It didn't seem like it was that bad, because he was just kind of bored as heck. It's like, whatever, can we go home now? That kind of attitude. So we said hi to them. Well, yeah, that was interesting. It's the first time. Well, that's not the first time it's ever burst on me before. There was one time years ago when I had the Trophenol and I had a catheter, and it burst the day before my appointment to have it checked and all of that good stuff. And I managed to last the entire day without it falling out. I don't know how I did it. No clue. But I wasn't about to. Children. So yeah, like I was asleep, and it was like the morning of, and I was about to get up, and I felt it burst. Somehow I made it the entire day. The entire 24 hours with a deflated balloon in my stomach. I don't know what my logic was. I mean, I don't know. I had the appointment for the next day, and I just knew even if I went to the ER that day to get it changed out, that they would still want to see me the next day for my appointment. I didn't want to do that. It seemed ridiculous. So yeah, I did that. Oh god, this next story. Hold on, let me cross off the one I just did. So
that was nice one.
It's my nephew. No. Somebody out there with you? Well, be careful. He's so accident.
Yeah. We will match if I were to this. Just
yeah, we will. I'm gonna try and tell the story with him sitting out there. So it's recently, I'm gonna say last year. It feels like it was the same time of year.
This is a new shirt.
Okay. It might have been like last March or April. Maybe it was this past March. No. No. It was one before. So we did the thing where we went downtown to the ER, to the place where I got the stoma, the SB2 put in. It's like, fine, let's do what they say and go down there. I still waited in the waiting room forever because it's like hyper hospital where there's like tons of cases all the time. It's a very busy ER. I think a couple of ambulances came in while I was waiting, so they get taken back first, obviously. Wait, and finally get back, and of course they do triage first, and they won't let the person that's with you come back with you to begin with. Awful. The system they've set in place. I mean, it's important. I guess it's important. Yeah. You want to make sure the person you're with is not harming you in any way, shape, or form, or whatever. I understand that. It's a very weird situation. I guess not. Because I'm used to going back by myself, but not there, because I don't go to that ER very often. The last time I did was a nightmare. I've told that story. So, in my allergies video, finally I get back to the room, and I think Mom came back with me at that point. Yeah, she did, because we exchanged some looks. And there was this older nurse, but she was new. She was an older nurse who's, like, I guess, decided that she wanted to be a nurse a little later in life. You could tell she was new. She really didn't know, like, little things. I'm not making any sense. I'll try to. Like, okay, finally they decide, the doctor comes in. And he starts asking me questions. I told him I thought that the catheter clogged up due to a kidney stone. And at this point, I'd been there for hours, and my bladder wasn't emptying. I was in pain. But I remember he was one of those extremely good-looking young white doctors. You know, TV doctor material. I remember I said it was a bladder stone. I thought it was a bladder stone that was clogging it up, making it not work. And he looks at me, he looks at the nurse, I think he looked at my mom, and then he looked back at me and he goes, I think it's probably a bladder stone. I don't like a grammar Nazi. It just took that to another level. Like, if you know what somebody means, why correct them? It's stupid. Just continue with the conversation. You know what they meant. If you don't, ask them if that's what they meant. He said this. I'm sorry, I closed my eyes because this eye looks so ridiculous. I blended better on this side than I did on this side. Whatever. Anyway, I'm in pain, and he decides to correct my wording. So, yeah. And I have a little jar of stones. Hold on, I'll get it. I have to hurry up with the story because my nephew's out there and I can't leave him out there by himself for too long. He's only 5. But these are the stones that I have. You can kind of see them. They're flat. No, I'm doing something.
What?
Hey, poopy.
Right here.
Yeah, there's like 4 in there. Like 3 big ones and a teeny tiny one. You can't really see very well. That's, yeah. Those are some stones
Why do you
that
need
come
this?
out of me. Ugh. No, honey. Why is it doing that? I don't know why, but it's like glaring at me a little bit. It doesn't want to pick a light setting for some reason. Anyway, yeah, so I was just ticked with him. Oh, and the nurse, like I said, she was older, but she was new to the profession, and I know this because she just didn't seem to have it all together. Like, most nurses know that when you're doing a catheter change, have everything right in within reach, and they open all the little packets, like the iodine packets and the little gel packets as well, and they usually open the catheter to the end that goes inside of you, and they put it in the gel pack, and they set that aside, and then they do the cleaning, and all of that, and then hi.
What?
I'm trying to finish. Oh yeah, she takes this giant, enormous piece of gauze, and I don't know, at least a whole roll of tape, and puts it around the catheter. Puts it around the catheter.
That's zero money.
I'm talking. Puts it around the catheter. That was a lot of fun to remove. So yeah, she didn't seem like she had it all together yet. Like she was new to it and everything. So, but that was, yeah. Those were some fun little story times I wanted to put all together because I didn't really have. They weren't long enough to have their own video each, and they didn't really go in any category. I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, that's some more story times of mine. I've got a few more. Hopefully, I don't.
I think I know how to make those zipper bags.
So yeah.
Gigi, I think I know how to make those zipper bags.
Let me finish this. I'm almost done, I promise. So yeah, those are some more story times of mine. I hope you're enjoying these. I've got a few more on my list. I got a few that I want to ask my mom and dad about. They don't remember much, but I think they could be their own videos if I could get all the details that I don't remember. So yeah, this is gonna happen soon. We do my outro. Okay. So yeah.
Be quiet.
Okay, bye.